Hello, today is the day we are converting the strange little flat roof at the top of our bungalow into a pitched roof. I have another video talking about the details of why we are doing that, which I'll link to down below. Now, I don't know much about roof construction and there is no way that I could tackle a job like this without the help of a professional. And if I could pick anyone in the whole world to help me, it would be the man who is now on his way up to Norfolk to meet me. A man who I'm sure most of you will know already from his fantastic work on YouTube. A man I haven't yet had the pleasure of meeting, but have exchanged many messages with. About 8 months ago, I asked him for a bit of advice about our roof, which he kindly gave me, but what I wasn't expecting was for him to offer to come and help build it with me. I'm very excited, but also a bit nervous because we only have a day to get this done, and that scares me a bit. Before he arrived though, I had a little bit of prep work to do. I'd covered up the roof overnight with a tarpaulin just to stop the rain getting in, and we had definitely had some rain overnight, so it was time to get up there to see what I was dealing with. So this tarpaulin had been secured down with a few battens. And as you can see, the roof felt had already been stripped off by the roofers, so I just need to pry off the lead from where the water used to drain off the flat roof. Then there's these timber upstands to pry off. And a bit more felt around the perimeter. And then finally onto the OSB, which turned out to be quite difficult to remove. I was hoping I could just pry it off as full sheets, but it was secured with 3-inch nails. And it just had a tendency to crumble apart as soon as I tried to pry it off. So I went and grabbed my circular saw and made lots of relief cuts to break it up into smaller pieces, and that made it a lot easier to get up. Unfortunately, I'm making a real mess in the loft space down below, but there wasn't much I could do about that. And just as I got to the last piece, the dream team arrived. So let me introduce you to someone who many of you will know already, master carpenter Robin Clevett, who has an excellent channel on YouTube covering his construction and renovation work, and you might have also seen his work on the Skill Builder channel, links down below. And Robin's protégé, Ed Harris of Edward Carpentry, highly skilled in his own right, as you will see for yourselves on his Instagram page and throughout this video. After a quick cup of coffee, we could get rid of all of that old OSB. And while the guys were getting set up, I started removing the furring strips as they were no longer needed.
Just waiting for Rob to tell me what measurements we need.
Robin started measuring up so that Ed could cut the noggins to length, which will add strength and rigidity to the structure. Robin has his own video about this flat roof to pitched roof conversion, and that's a proper tutorial from someone who knows what they're talking about, so I'd highly recommend checking that out. There'll be a link to it in the description box below, of course. These corner pieces are going to help support the new wall plates that will go in, and this particular wall plate needed some adjustments to fit around the original roof structure. And it gets checked for position and fastened with screws.
To me there, that's it mate, lovely. Yeah, it's very, very close, within 8mm. That'll do me.
These wall plates needed a really steep angle, so Robin's using a circular saw with a 9-inch blade and cutting with the base plate riding the end of the board. A really tricky cut to make accurately.
This is a C9U3. So it was just called C9U, then it was C9U2. I've had a hand in developing them right up to this one as well.
Really?
Yeah. Right down to strengthening certain components, lengthening the cables.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Do that both ends, and then we'll check it all for parallel before we commit to it. Yeah? Until we're all ready.
I wasn't sure how involved I would be with regard getting on the tools, but it was obvious when I saw the guys working that if I were to get involved, I'd only be slowing things down. So instead I focused on filming, tidying up and getting refreshments. But it turns out I couldn't even get that right on my own.
So just a normal strong tea then, I guess.
Yeah.
Let's see that face. Let's see that beautiful face.
and I distracted them with lots of questions. So let's have a look at this app of yours, Robin.
Right, so basically it's just like any other app. Let me just clear it back. So I'm doing an equal pitch roof like we are here, okay? I know what my span is, it's 3 meters and 15 millimeters, and we're using a ridge board which is 46 millimeters, and I know that the angle of the roof is 33 degrees. I just simply press calculate and it gives me the exact rafter length I need, okay?
Amazing.
So that's 1,770. Now, so what we do is we cut a 33 degree cut on the top of the rafter, and then we measure along there, and we're going to measure along to there. That is the overall length of the rafter. So in our case, because we're sitting over your wall plate up there, we'll mark a seat cut. Okay, so if that plumb cut is the degree of the roof, 33, then we mark the seat cut, and that will be basically taken through here like this. Now we want to sit over the top of the wall plate. We want to sit over there, and we want to line up nicely with that point there. So we're going to put a bird's mouth at the back here. Just going to check this is about the right size. Yep. So there we have our little plumb cut there. That is what we're going to be cutting out. All that, and that's our rafter.
Awesome.
Pretty easy.
And when is the app available?
Next year. It's not a rush at the moment because I just want it to be right, and also we want to make sure that when we sort of give the app away or sell it or whatever, however, if you buy our square, obviously the app will come with it, but if you buy the app, then we're going to add functions and features as well, which are sort of generic to building. If you're setting a building out and you've got 2 dimensions, we could have a thing where you can just plug those in, it will give you the diagonal length, things like that, you know, to make it easier than understanding pure maths or trigonometry.
I hate maths.
Yeah. Good.
Like a glove.
Yeah, we're all happy with that.
Great to see these guys working in real life. I've been watching Robin for years, but there's nothing like seeing things come together in person with the smell of freshly cut timber in the air. And in no time at all, our new ridge beam was in place. These are what are called the hip rafters going in.
Right, let's get these jacks marked up, boy. Come on, the jacks now, boy.
So the jacks are the ones that go from the wall plate up to the hip, are they? Yeah. By the way, the pressure treated timber that we're using, which is 150 by 50 and 200 by 50, or 6 by 2 and 8 by 2, is all C24 grade, which is the premium stuff. It's better quality than the usual C16.
The C24, that's what you're paying for.
Yeah. Yeah, it's good stuff.
So we want to go one there, and then we want to go on there, and we don't want to see it anyway. Right. I'm going to get down there and cut the next rafters. And then the feet want to be spiked home, yeah?
Yeah.
I've got a list of rafters now. I'm going to go and cut these. We need 3, 6, 9, 12, 24 rafters. Let's go!
My favourite part of the day was watching them mark and cut the jack rafters. The speed at which they were operating at and the synergy between them, like a well-oiled machine.
Teamwork is dream work.
Mate, the pace at which you guys work is incredible.
I don't even change batteries, that's why I'm doing it with the 240.
Yeah.
110, sorry. I'm just like, I want to go. I
Yeah.
Stop. Oh, there's a battery in.
Yeah.
You stop for 10 minutes without even knowing.
Yeah.
Can you? And cut 3 rafters.
Can you get saws that big cordless?
Yeah, you can.
You can, yeah.
That new Makita I mentioned.
Oh yeah, that 40-volt one. Yeah. What's your hammer of choice then?
This is just a California framer.
Gosh, really long, isn't it?
Proper hammer here, Keith.
What's that?
Little titanium jobby.
Love it. Cool, the handle's beautiful.
Yeah, it's nice.
Eventually, I even managed to get my hands on a tool. It's nice to feel like I played a role in building the roof, no matter how minute. So then the jack rafters went in, and that was that.
The golden rule about it is, you've got to get it in. You can't cut one and fiddle around with it.
Yeah.
The timber's too irregular. Right, okay.
Last pair, bro.
Last pair, yeah?
Got.
That's it, done.
And repeat when we're done.
So there it was, our new pitched roof. So beautiful that I considered cladding it in glass, as it seemed a shame to cover it up with tiles. So Robin and Ed drove up all the way from Surrey and arrived here around 9 AM, and by about 3:30 PM we were taking a quick selfie on the roof, and then they were already packing up the van ready for the long drive home. Plus we had a break for lunch, so the roof was actually constructed in about 5 to 5.5 hours, which is incredible, and I can't thank them enough. They did an amazing job. All that was left for me to do was to cover it up with the tarpaulin again until the roofers could return the next day to add the rest of the membrane and battens. And since then the roofers have been back to make a start on the tiling, so this here is the new roof that was built in this video, and this here is the original roof. For those who watched my previous video about our re-roofing project, you might recall I mentioned that we would need to apply for retrospective planning permission if the height of the new pitched roof exceeded the height of the original bungalow roof. And it's not something that is easy to measure, but I can show you this footage which I took from the top of the roof after it had been wrapped in membrane by our roofers, and you can see that sighting through from the top of that new ridge beam, the new roof actually ended up being slightly lower. I thought I'd share one final amusing anecdote with you about Robin. He likes to guess the time throughout the day without looking at his watch, and he's surprisingly accurate with his guesses. He's usually within a couple of minutes of the actual time. At one point I asked him to guess the price of all of the timber that I'd bought for this project, and his guess was within 50 pence of the price I paid for it. Unbelievable. Anyway, please do go and check out Robin's video and his YouTube channel, and hit subscribe while you're there, and go and give Ed a follow on Instagram too. Thank you for watching.